Okay, welcome to the end of the world where you find things like this and it's going to get worse. Prepare yourself, strap in tightly, and keep hands on both wheels. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah is about to drive this world upside down, giving all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the elders, the great millstone who taught us this truth. A sincere shalom, labakarium, shal yasha'Allah, that's peace to the elect of the nation of Israel. Now, this devil is pulling everything out of the bag, so we don't know, the next 48 hours how this new plague that's been released into the earth, and it's not just the one, the Hunter virus. It's not just that. There's other things going on as we're going to look at a few of these videos here. But the Lord is closing the walls on Esau's kingdom, so he's causing this man to come down with that sword. Esau is the sword of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. We're all controlled by the spirits. Okay, Esau and the heathen are controlled on the left-hand side, and the Lord's elect is controlled on the right-hand side. And the 2/3 of our nation is controlled on the left-hand side as well. Let me just read this to you. This for the, the new listeners coming in, the final hour. Prepare your soul. This is not just a normal Bible study lesson. When you run into these lessons, this is serious business. This is prophecy taking place right before your faith, and you're in it. And you're in it, and you have no time to waste when it comes to this truth here. If the Lord has allowed you into our circle, you know the Father's true name, Yahweh, his son's name, Yahweh Shah. You know about the Lord's elect of the nation of Israel. You know Yahweh Shah is coming back, and he's put it in your heart. He's put it in your heart that when he comes back, you possibly could be beamed up in that ship. That's serious business right there. That's something that no one can take from you. That's given to you from the heavens. It's called a gift, which is faith. So the faithful is going to be on high alert right now, because the hour of temptation is right around the corner. This is no time to play games in planet Earth, because the Lord is bringing this evil, man. This is Amos 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil? Shall there be evil? Yes, it will. And we are seeing these evils multiply, because the Lord's left hand is moving. I mean, they are moving. They moving in the dark too, so only the Lord's candles, his lights, those with the lights in your eyes, those with the unction can see him, because this man is moving behind the scenes. So it says, shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? The Lord is bringing this evil. The Lord is causing this man to come down with great wrath. This is all part of the judgment until the final showdown when Yahweh shall get here with the ship. So prepare your souls. We are going in. We are going in. These next 7 months to 2026. Well, we got 7 months, right? Yep, June. Yep, about 7 months. These are going to be some shaking months. I mean, everything. Just when you thought you got a grasp on one thing, something else going to collapse your world. And if you're not standing on faith, matter of fact, hold on, let me read this, then I'm going to get into, we're going to get right to these videos here. It says, this is Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. For the devil, which is the left-hand side of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, because the Lord controls both sides. Isaiah 45, verse 7. Very powerful scripture. You should go read it. They tell you that the Lord said, I created good and I created evil. So that devil has been created as a design. And the spiritual demon Satan works through the Edomites. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So we know exactly where we at. There's no whys anymore with us. We got the answer to why, where, and how. We know the whole story, and we know how this ends and we know how it restarts. So come on with it, E. You know what I mean? Well, he coming. It's here. Everything is laid out. Time is short. It says, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath. So the Lord is going to allow Esau to pull out every weapon he got against the 2/3 of our people, against these heathens and his own. Esau is going to wipe out his own. He's going to chip his own people. It says, because he knoweth. He knoweth. Now, when you go into this word knoweth, this is very serious. This is dealing with witchcraft here. You know, Esau is in the know, man. He knows the things that we know, and what we know ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? We got secret information. Yeah, he don't have everything, but he got a lot. The scripture tell you that he's wiser than Daniel, but he knoweth. This is knoweth here in the Greek.
Strong's G 1492.
Ido, which is to see. So Esau, he's a seer on the left-hand side. And it's only right. You know, to be a ruler of planet Earth, there are certain doors that got to be open to you from the future or from the heavenly realm. You know, certain things that the knowledge that the Lord gave the rulers to be able to calculate in the future. And that's that witchcraft going all the way back to Babylon, the Chaldeans and the wise men that they had on the left-hand side. You know, Egypt had, all the nations had them. You know, and Esau's no different. Esau, he goes to the Vatican and they bring they witches and warlocks, and they all assemble. They had some that they just celebrated called the gala, where they use all the entertainers to give praise to the fourth dimension and to the demonic left-hand side. And they call it a looking glass, a door. You know, Esau has a doorway to the future, so they can see things. And we have a doorway, which is through Yahushua. So we see things. But we know the Lord disappointeth the devices of the crafty, you know. And he make even their prophets into liars. So that door that they have is still controlled by Yahushua. You know, it's a mission into this truth, man. This is not a regular thing that you've entered in. This is highly spiritual. So to remain in this truth and to function, you got to get spiritual. You got to get spiritual, because our high priest is ministering from the heavens. So it says to see. So he knows me. He's a seer. To perceive with the eyes, to perceive by any of the senses, to discern. So this man can discern that, hey, my time is short. And I'm sure he got certain stargazers that tell you in Isaiah 47 about his pronosticators and the stargazers. They read the astrology charts, you know, in the stars in the heaven to calculate how much time they got, you know. So that's how they do things. Hold on 1 second. Hello? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me put this on. Do not disturb. Okay. All right. So to see, to discern, turn the eyes, the mind, the attention to anything, and that's what the Lord is doing with us. Romans 13:11 says, in that knowing the time, that knowing is the same word here, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check that, because he knows he has a short time, and we know he has a short time. Let me see this here. Romans 13 verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Let's look at this word knowing over here. Yep, same word.
Strong's G 1492. Ido,
which is to perceive, to see with the eyes, to know. So we know and he know, to know anything by force of meaning, to have regard to one, to pay attention. This is the time to pay attention. But you can only do that once the Lord pulls the spirit of deep sleep off you, and then you become one of the knowing. So Esau is part of the knowing. Ain't that something, right? And now we have the eye salve, and we're part of the knowing. So rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath. That's Esau. The word devil means deceiver. Okay? Satan just means adversary. So the left-hand spirits, they're going to work heavy. You're going to start seeing some very amazing things happen in planet Earth. It says, so the devils come down to you having great wrath. Wrath now. This is not it's not a comfortable word. See, let's go into this wrath real quick. Because the wrath is about to start, man. We're going to get into this video. Shit, you know, we're going to tell them how tomorrow going to look. We don't know. We walking blindly, but we walking by faith. Wrath, which is anger. You know, anger. It's like wrath. That's all they got there for wrath is anger in the etymology. That's something, ain't it? All right, so we get it. So this man's going to come down with great anger because he's a sword. You know, this is the left-hand energy of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So by their calculations, looking into the stars, we don't know what the back office is saying, but we know by measuring the time that Esau is down to months, according to our calculations and the prophecies of these scriptures, man. And the prophets putting their heads together through these videos. See, these videos are very important because they bouncing off each other. And once the videos come out, they bounce off each other, and the other knowings, the other seers out there, you know, and the prophets were called seers. And with the other seers, and we compare information, you know, and it's a beautiful thing how the Lord set this up, man. You know, because we can all do this through this phone. You know, this wouldn't be possible without this Urim and Thummim here. Let me see something here. This is is it 2 Samuel 3:9? Yeah, I think it's 2 Samuel. Salakia, 1 second. Is it 2:9? Let's try 2:9 first. Okay. Let's try 3, and it must be 3:9. Haven't pulled this in a while. He make it the seers were called the prophets. Let me see something. 1 second. Let's just type it in. Seers. We want the one in Samuel's though. Yeah, that's what it says. Okay. Samuel's. Let's see here. Hold on, Lord. All right, let's do it this way. So like you can bear with me. Okay, I ain't gonna spend too much time. I want to get to this video. I want to make this video too long. Damn, come on. What is it? Alright. But I tell you, he make it to the seers. The seers were called prophets. I can't find it right now. Seers were called prophets. You hate when that happened, man. And nothing is coming up. I'm gonna Google this thing. I'm gonna find it. Okay. Yes, I got it. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh. I was a little off there. This is 1 Samuel 9. First Samuel, I haven't seen this in a while. 1 Samuel 9, verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of Yahweh, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seers. So you have those that knew. And when you come to these videos, you're coming to the seers that find out about the future. What's the condition of America? Are we at the end of the world? What's the judgment for the white man's dirt? Will the Israelites ever get together? You know, is the Lord come? All the spiritual answers you need about the end of the world, the Lord set it up to come through these videos, but these videos are short. They got a time stamp on them. The Lord going to start taking these videos down. It's called the famine of the word. So the seers won't be so available as they are right now today. Like today, this Sunday, the seers are available. Some brothers are even at camp in certain states, in certain parts of the world. But it comes a time when the Lord is going to remove his seers. Then you on your own. So get right with the Father now. It says, come, let us go to the seers, for he that is now called a prophet was before called a seer, and that's the know. So Esau is in the know on the left-hand side. We in the know on the right-hand side. On the Yahweh, we know how this story ends. Esau, you lose badly. You're going into slavery. Your whole empire comes down. We just got to go through this straight gate with you in this hour of temptation. But after this, it gets brighter for us. The dawning of the day starts for us, and whew, that punishment for you Edomites. I'd say this here, you wouldn't want to be an Edomite for nothing. The Lord got it out for you. Your future does not look great, buddy. So let's check this video out. This is another cruise ship. They say 100 was affected with another disease. This is separate from the one that they're talking about.
Netizens disclosed on social media that on March 10th, the Guangzhou Baiyun Airport Environmental Management Department, in collaboration...
Hold on, matter of fact, this is not the video. We're going to get into that video too. Matter of fact, because I'm going to get that one first. We're going to double back to this one. Because this show you, like, yo, Esau, this man is the devil. But he coming, he doing his job. You know, we not mad at you for doing your job, E. You know, keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. This is the one. We're gonna get right back to that, because that one show you that they already got a Maxine Waters for this new disease, and they already tested. They did it last month and ran a test in China, and all of a sudden these people get sick with this disease. But this is another one here.
Another news tonight, 2 diseases, 2 cruise ships. West 2 is keeping tabs on both stories as these boats make their way to dry land. A cruise ship bound for Port Canaveral has more than 100 passengers and crew members with norovirus. West 2's David Jones is joining us live from our newsroom tonight. David, you talked with a person who was on that ship. What did they tell you?
Luana, they said that things seem to be going on the cruise ship as normal, but what's certainly abnormal is the amount of sickness on the Princess Cruise Line's Caribbean Princess as it's bound for Port Canaveral, scheduled to dock in Brevard County on Monday. Widespread norovirus arrived on board the Caribbean Princess during its voyage from Port Everglades that set sail on April 28th. It's taken a grip on more than 100 passengers and at least 13 crew members, according to the CDC. Norovirus is not hantavirus, important to note, but it can be a powerful stomach bug, one that'll hit infected people from both ends at once. It's kind of scary. Some Brevard residents say knowing a ship with the norovirus outbreak will be docking at Port Canaveral is an unsettling thought, considering the CDC says norovirus is extremely contagious. That's why we kind of stay away from a lot of people.
They just put up the safety precautions, and the buffet is not a self-serve anymore.
Marion County resident Donna Leonte is on board.
It is a common thing. I mean, I've heard about it before, and you get nervous about it, but you just have to be mindful that you're on the ship with a whole bunch of other people that you don't know.
That's why it's not a good idea to be around crowds right now. I mean, do what you want to do, okay? This is for the faithful. We ain't taking this thing for a joke. And we refuse to be caught off guard and caught out there. That's why you have the eye salve, so that you can foresee the evil and then hide yourself. It's not the time to get your family together and say, let's take this cruise we always wanted, you know, to Disney World or something. You know, you want to take that trip out of the country. You may get stuck right where you at and can't come back in. See, we're in a time where the Lord may let you out. But remember, a man shall desire to go into the city and not be able. That's the scriptures. You may leave this country thinking you going, you know, to Mexico or wherever, and now you can't get back in. Something had happened over in the States here or where you at. So now you got to strap down. Same thing happened with the people stranded out there in Dubai. They learned the hard way. This is the time to sit your ass down and pray and pay attention.
No, and if they don't take care of themselves, then you just have to be careful.
Princess says upon discovering the sickness, they quickly disinfected every area of the ship and added extra sanitizing. The CDC recommends washing your hands thoroughly to prevent infections and quarantining for 48 hours after symptoms stop. And Princess also saying tonight, once that ship returns to port, it'll go through a comprehensive cleaning and disinfection process before it heads off on its next voyage.
Yeah, so you can see people still going to be loading up on these ships. But yeah, this thing is about to take a turn for the worse. And you've been warned by the seers that this is happening. Now, this just took place in Japan here. Then we going to get to what they doing in China, man. Yeah, everything is unfolding right before our face. Let me see. I just saw this is.
I've always said that Portland is very quietly lit. It's one of the best places to shop with their 0% sales tax.
Yeah, this is Dabu 7 fair use. You see these scenes, man?
This is Dabu 7. We have an emergency situation that is unfolding inside of Japan. This is an incident that has occurred near the Kawasaki station. There are reports of over 20 different ambulances that were dispatched to the scene of this area. Initial reports are stating that an unknown substance, a mystery substance, has been released at the train station in the suburbs of Tokyo. 13 people immediately affected, 3 of them hospitalized. Again, Kawasaki Station, passengers suddenly felt unwell. They began coughing, struggling to breathe, heavy tearing. All these ambulances, fire trucks showed up, and emergency situation at this location. They're trying to determine whether any Russian tourists are among the victims. I don't know why they state that, but they do. They say service on one of the metro lines has been suspended. Emergency crews carrying out decontamination of the entire station and trying to get to the bottom of what this mystery substance is. So this area is popular with tourists. They go to the Buddhist temples and the surrounding areas there in Tokyo. Much love and a shout out to Silver Sailor and everyone else out there in the region. If you have any info on this, let me know in the comments section.
Now this could be a psyop, you know, which a lot of these are, but the reaction is going to be real. The reaction is going to be real. So when we tell you sit still, you know, say a prayer, stay on the watch, get close to the sun, you know, get yourself prepared, because all hell is going to break loose. We mean that through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The walls are closing in. There's this comfortable day when you can go for a walk with your dog. You can order some DoorDash. You know, you can bicker about some of the more non-irrelevant things that's happening in your life. All that's about to come to an end. People going to be out here struggling for survival, dropping dead. These new diseases they releasing, this is going to take 2020. What happened there with C19, it's going to make it look like nothing. You're going to start seeing people, you're going to be going in the supermarket, people dropping dead. I don't know what you heard. That's in the scriptures. This plague that's been released on the world was told to us by Yahweh Shah how it's going to look right before he comes. This is Matthew 24. I'm starting from verse 3. And as he said that he is Yahushua, upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us when these things, tell us when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming? So all these prophecies happening, and it's all happening at once. These are the signs that our Lord is coming, and of the end of the world. This word world here, this is oikomene in the Greek. No, actually, no, it's not. Salakia, this is eon. Let me just click on that. I haven't clicked on it in a minute. Let me, yeah. Yep, this is eon.
Strong's G165. Ion.
So it's unbroken age, a perpetuity of time, eternity, a period of time or age. So the age of the Edomites, the age of the heathens is about to be over. The suffering of watching the righteous, the gods of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Yasha go through this punishment, these chains of darkness, this hell, the things we got to suffer on the left-hand side, it's almost over. That's why we're in a very important time of the changing of history. Look, empires rise and empires fall. And you're witnessing the fall of an empire. Empires are ran by men. So the Edomites, who you know as the so-called white race, they're falling. They're falling hard. This is a big guy. This is a giant here. This is not a small cookie. When you read the scriptures, America is in there, is under cold words. It's one of the most important kingdoms on the left-hand side inside this Bible here. The Lord just put it under certain names: Babylon the Great, Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah, Nineveh. You know, even relates to it as, referred to it as Basra in certain instances. You know, but it's the capital, it's the whore that sits upon, the beast that sits upon many waters, which are the people. So this is a big cookie, man. We're witnessing the fall of our number one enemy throughout history and throughout time. So the times are changing. The times, the laws, the way you eat, the way you wake up, the way you tell time, the way you read maps, the structure of planet Earth is about to change. This is big deal. This is not just some event happening on the 12 o'clock news and then it's going to stay like this forever. No, this forever here, your forever of waking up, repeating your shitty ass cycle every day is almost over. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And that's not to insult the elect, you know, because we got to get up and do what we got to do, you know, every day. But our minds and our eyes is on this kingdom and what's happening out here. But these other people, you know, they're so beat down, they love this madness. They're in love with their jail cell and they're in love with their chains. But not us. We want out. We want to break free, and it's coming. It's coming. We rejoicing, man. So they wanted to know when was going to be the time of the Romans at that time ending, not knowing that, oh no, it's still about 2,000 more years before he actually makes the return. And now we are in that day of Yahushua's return. So the disciples asked Yahushua that, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. And you ain't deceiving the elect. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And many people going to be deceived, which they are. Look at you Christians. It's millions of you Christians. You've been around for hundreds of years. Ain't nothing been going on. But as soon as the Israelites hit the scene, these prophecies start to unfold. Now we at the end of an age. You know? So many of you in Christianity, you're deceived. And you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence. That's the word I want right there. Right there. Famines and pestilence. So these pestilence are going to pick up. And this is a good segue into the MOTB for them, huh? Because you know in that movie Songbird, if you did go watch it, you know, they had a wristband they had to keep on, which was signifying the mark of the beast. You know, and they had to scan it and things like that, you know, to show your health condition. And that chip is going to read your health condition and report it back to a database. They're going to have something on you if your heart rate go too high, if you got a fever, you getting the sweats, you coughing too much. The car will pick it up. The car you riding in will pick it up. You got to have certain things, gadgets that's mandatory you put in your house that's going to pick it up. The chip is going to pick it up and it's going to report. And then you're going to have certain people coming to your door to carry you off to the dumpster zone, where they dump all the sick and all the dead bodies. So pestilence. This is pestilence here.
Strong's G 3061. Loy Mas.
Pestilence. A plague. And when you click on this this word plague here, they set this up quite different when you click on it. Let me just get let me see if they changing around definitions, man. When the Israelites hit the scene, they shook up the world. Esau going back to his definitions and changing definitions and hiding things. This damn bastard, man. You know, so a plague is affliction, a calamity, evil, a scourge, severe trouble or vexation, right? It says a dis-ease, right? It says Latin, a stroke, wound, right? Strike. See, I'm looking for, they look like they took this out. It used to say pandemic. Let me see, meaning, I see they got epidemic here, which is, epidemic is when it's centered and controlled in one area. Pandemic was when it's worldwide, but they do got epidemic here, especially in reference to the bubonic plague of the 1600s, medieval times. Okay, so this is a plague. Okay, let me see. This is a verb here. It says, infest with disease or other natural calamity. A plague. See, plague in a sense of a rash. Okay. All right, that's what we wanted right there. So the Lord says there shall be pestilence, man, plagues, epidemics, pandemics, you know, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these is part of the end of the world, you know, and part of Esau's kingdom ending and our world coming in. But check this devil out, man.
A lot of dry rubs out there.
Hold on. So once again.
Like the dry rubs in here. Zaxby's famous
Medical University.
Apparently, this devil has been planning for this this outbreak, and there's movies coming out when they show. I think it was the X-Files. When they showed this virus in there, you know, and they was using it as a doorway to the end of the world, like a takeover, you know. So everything is coming out as their own tongue shall fall on them, but it looked like they are running the same play, but in a different way. Because this particular virus here is like a host, and what it does, it has strands, and that's why they're saying these people are affected with the strands. So it has legs, which makes it very deadly. So you don't know what strand. So they saying this strand was released, which has a 40% mortality. They saying they don't have anything for that itself, the strand, but they got something for the virus. They got a Maxine Waters already ready to go, man. Fair use. This is for educational purposes only.
Its Basic Medical College, along with the Shanxi Provincial CDC, are the co-authors of the paper. The study was funded by key national research programs and the National Natural Science Foundation. Netizens disclosed on social media that on March 10th, the Guangzhou Baiyun Airport Environmental Management Department, in collaboration with a disinfection company, conducted a special emergency drill focused on rodent-induced hantavirus infection. Not just a regular disinfection drill, but one specifically targeting hantavirus. The wave of doubts triggered by the hantavirus outbreak reflects the global public's heightened sensitivity to emerging infectious diseases. In the Chinese context, this sensitivity is often amplified even evolving into suspicions about potential human manipulation. An ex-user named Mickey posted, on March 30th, China's Air Force Medical University proudly announced the successful development of a new hantavirus nucleic acid vaccine, claiming it provides strong, long-lasting immunity. So what happened? Just 1 month later, hantavirus broke out on a cruise in the Atlantic. It's already led to multiple deaths, with many countries reporting infections, and the WHO urgently intervening. The vaccine was just developed, and now the virus is emerging? Is it a coincidence, or is there something else going on? Was this hantavirus outbreak a natural disaster, or is there more to the story? Chinese issues expert Wu Zhuolai posed a critical question. Why is the Chinese Communist Party researching and developing hantavirus? Could it also be a biological weapon? Some netizens have even expressed their belief that there's more than a 99% chance these biological viruses have been weaponized. With the development of AI, such things could be made up more easily, simply, and cheaply, which presents a huge threat to humanity. Another netizen bluntly said, "Every time I hear about a virus, my instinct tells me it's related to the CCP because they're constantly researching new viruses, and even intentionally releasing them." On May 9th, a Chinese user on X stated, "What's scary is not the original hantavirus. What's scary is whether this hantavirus has been modified and whether it can now spread from person to person, just like when COVID-19 was first reported as having limited human-to-human transmission." At this moment, the spread of hantavirus and the debate about the origin of COVID-19 resonate strongly. According to public reports, at the end of January 2025, the CIA declassified a new assessment, suggesting that COVID-19 is more likely to have originated from research-related sources, i.e. a laboratory leak, rather than a purely natural spillover. Intelligence agencies and scientists have been exploring the causes of this global health crisis. Since the outbreak, CCP authorities have refused to fully cooperate with international investigators, hindering efforts to trace the virus's origin. This crisis has led to the deaths of millions and caused trillions in economic losses, amplifying concerns about the risks of virus research. In January, U.S. President Donald Trump mentioned the COVID-19 pandemic during an interaction with the World Economic Forum president. Trump said, "Someone told me to watch closely because something very bad was happening in China. Wuhan was full of bodies, right around that building we had mentioned. I've always said the virus came from Wuhan. Those bodies were in body bags. We saw it through satellite images." Though Trump didn't specify what he meant by that building, he had publicly stated multiple times that the virus came from a laboratory leak. In April last year, the White House confirmed on its official website that the true source of the COVID-19 pandemic was a laboratory leak, though the CCP has long denied this. The CCP had previous laboratory leak incidents in its history, such as the 2004 SARS virus leak in Beijing, which reminds people that biosafety is not solely a domestic issue for any single country, but rather an area that requires global standards and transparent oversight. Against this backdrop, the current hantavirus outbreak has further heightened public sensitivity to the origins of viruses and the risks associated with laboratory research. What exactly is hantavirus and how dangerous is it? Hantavirus is a large family of viruses with various strains, some of which are similar to the coronavirus. This time, it's the Andes strain, which differs from other hantaviruses. Studies have found that in large social gatherings or crowded environments, the Andes strain of hantavirus can spread through droplets or aerosols. What's even more concerning is that the Andes strain has a high mortality rate and no specific cure. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, the initial symptoms of this virus resemble the flu, but they quickly progress to acute respiratory failure, with a fatality rate as high as 40%.
See that
much
right
higher
there?
than the mortality rate of the coronavirus.
So that right there is going to really get the people, you know. Because if this is the one they're going to go with, and they're going to amplify it, you will see people dropping dead at supermarkets, train stations, you know, and this could be happening by the hundreds. Airports, 100 people just drop. And the timing for this thing is very crazy. They can do a lot with it because you got to wait 8 weeks before you start seeing symptoms. So these people that's coming off the ship, most likely they had it before they got on the ship. You know, and those 17 people, they on board back to the States now. and they're gonna isolate them. You know, might as well say it's in a concentration camp. But who's to say this? They got to backtrack their steps. Now they got to do tracing. They got to, you know, use the Palantir system and find out what's up with the contact tracing and who you around, and you're gonna see the spin, because they had it before they got on. These people coming from different parts of the world, so we're gonna see how crazy this gets. But as you can see behind the scenes, they was already running a test in China about this virus, developed a vaccine, and then a month later, boom, we here. So this devil is moving very, very, very sneakily. But see, the men of the Lord, we got our eyes on you. The Lord is he's telling us, he's giving us a heads up, and which is a beautiful thing. You know, you give a heads up to people that you love. You know, and the Lord said he revealed his secrets to his servants, the prophets. So we at the end, you know, Akim, Akwath, you wondering, you know, new people coming on, you wondering what's going on. Are we at the end of a world? This is, you know, the end of days? And yes, it is. But we got to know what world, what days, the end of Esau days, the wicked ruler, your enemy. And we at the rise of our days. That's why we keep telling you, repent, come over to Yahushua while you can. You're going to need divine help. You're going to need special forces from the angelic world, from the fourth dimension. It tell you in Daniel 12 that Michael, what represents all the angels, they're going to step up for his select, those that are written in the book. If you're written in the book, you coming on over. Welcome. Welcome. You've been written, predestined before the foundation of the world. That's just, you just need timing to get this information. Once this information hit the elect, they activate, you already know the mission, because it's been embedded in you since you was a child. You came down to planet Earth on a mission. You're not just randomly hanging around in Earth, you know, working and collecting these worthless dollars and sleeping with these worthless women, doing a whole bunch of nothing. No, we here on the mission. This is our birth. This is our job, our duty, you know, to warn and get these messages out and break these scriptures down, these prophecies, you know, gather together and witness the salvation of our Lord Yahushua. It's a beautiful thing here. It says, Isaiah 42 verse 9, behold, the former things come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. And the Lord ain't doing that for everybody. Let me just bring this out like this. This is the AMP. Indeed, the former things have come to pass. Now I declare new things. Before they spring forth, I proclaim them to you. And that goes to the seers first, the Lord's prophets, and then from the seers to the public. The seers get it first. The Lord speaks to them. He wakes them up first. So the seers are on the street. The Lord sends his seers, his prophets out before he brings down a kingdom. GNT, the things I predicted have now come true. Now I will tell you of new things even before they begin to happen. And that's how we can tell you about the kingdom of heaven is coming. We can break down Daniel 7, Daniel 2, you know, Revelations, Ezra's, the Jeremiah's, Isaiah, so on and so forth, and let you know that the burning is coming, that Peter spoke about in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. When the elements, all these elements, cars, garbage, all these trees, all these elements shall melt with fervent heat. We can tell you this now, because the Lord has told us. Kahala, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. But you see it. We're gonna end it right there. You know, but you see it. They got the needle ready to go. Ready to stick it in you. So it's gonna be something else, because the public ain't gonna sit right with this, and they know it. They're gonna scam for a minute. It's gonna be a little pushback, and then they're gonna sit down. These are sheeple here in this place, man. You know, they're gonna offer them burgers or whatever. You know, but prepare. This thing is about to get wild. This thing is about to get out of control. A new system, the kingdom of heaven is coming in. It's coming in strong, and these devils know it, and they mad, they angry. So they wrath is about to cover planet Earth, giving all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakahakwatash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. A sincere Shalom, Labakariim, Shah Yasha'Allah, that's peace to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.